Good morning, Mr. Eubanks. Mr. Eubanks, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine because of the high blow. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. Okay. On November 6, 2024, the officer initiated a traffic stop on the defendant's motor vehicle. After observing it failed to stop at a red traffic signal, the defendant was the sole occupant of the motor vehicle, and upon contact, the officer observed slurred speech, red glassy eyes, and an odor of an alcoholic beverage. The defendant admitted to drinking and advised that he had 2 drinks consisting of a couple Captain Morgan's and 1 Bud Light, and advised one of the Captain Morgan's was a double shot. A standard field sobriety tests were administered. HGN was unable to be completed because the defendant continued to talk during the exam and failed to follow instructions and leaned towards the officer. Walking turns 8 out of 8, one leg stand 4 out of 4, and DICs were red, and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.247 and 0.242.
Okay, any prior DWIs?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Eubanks, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. If I find that you're consuming any alcohol from any source, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes.
I'm also ordering you not to use prescriptive medication unless you have, or illegal controlled medication unless it's prescribed. But understand, if you take too much, it can still inebriate you, even if it's prescribed. So just be careful. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you have a valid Texas driver license? Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Yes.
Okay. You said no prior DWIs?
No prior DWIs.
All right. The length of what we're going to do is just no drugs, no alcohol. I don't want to have to put a device on you, so just don't use and you'll be fine. You have a great lawyer. Ms. Carpenter will take care of you. Just listen to her. I'll waive your appearance so you don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with counsel. She'll tell you when you have to come back to court. If she tells me she can't get a hold of you, then I will issue a warrant for your arrest. We'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you guys with pretrial for your bond conditions, and then you guys are good to go. All right?
Your Honor.
Okay, guys. Thanks.
Excuse-
Yeah. How old are you, Mr. Allen? PR bond after PR bond, and you still can't show up. Your case is 515 days old. I want to express my disappointment, and I'm going to tell you now, we are done with catch and release. Do you understand? We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. Officers were dispatched regarding an assault in progress report call. The complainant advised she is the girlfriend of the defendant of 2 years. The complainant stated she was invited by the defendant to his apartment, which told her to bring their son since it was his birthday. The complainant stated she and her son spent the night at the defendant's apartment, but the defendant started an argument with the complainant after she told him that they were about to leave. The complainant stated that she had the baby in her hands when the defendant forcefully grabbed the baby out of her hands and then with his left hand slapped the complainant on her right side of her jaw, causing pain.
Oh.
You guys have the rip done? Do we know? Does she want to have
We have not
contact
been
with
able
him?
to get in contact with the complainant. Her number is out of service and there's nothing in COO, so I have assigned it to our investigator.
Mr. Allen, you said you're how old?
22.
What are you doing in life now?
Working.
Did you graduate from high school? That's where we're going to start first thing. Right now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm sending you for a drug test because I want to make sure that there's nothing that's being used. I'm ordering you not to use any alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to test you like crazy. If I find that you're using marijuana or anything like that, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm sending you for a drug test. If you fail to test, if you fail to come back, your case is already 515 days old and we've given you 2 PR bonds. Do you think you will get a third?
Sir, wasn't that
You're skirting a very thin line now, Mr. Allen. If you miss court again, it's really, really not going to go well. Do you understand? I'm sending you for a test now. You're to test and come right back, and then we'll talk about your lawyer situation. But the first thing we're going to do is start working on getting your GED. So we'll have you come back in 2 weeks to show you or to show me what you have done to start working on your GED. Do you understand? Take a seat for me. Can you go ahead and reach out to the MAC too, please?
I was appointed to Christopher Allen this morning.
Okay.
He got some bond conditions. Some drug and alcohol testing were added to his conditions. I just want to reapproach on those conditions, sir.
Sure.
The facts do not allege anything relating to drugs or alcohol.
Okay.
There's no rip call that the complainant witness even alleges any drugs or alcohol. So with that new condition, I feel like it's not.
How old is Mr. Allen again?
He is 2002.
He's like 18, 19,
He
right?
was born 2002.
Come up, Mr. Allen.
22, 20.
I don't want you smoking weed. That's it. We tested him, right?
Yes.
What do you test positive for?
He was listening today, correct?
Yeah. This is Mr. Allen.
THC.
Okay. I don't want him smoking weed. I don't want you smoking weed. And I'm going to tell you now that I will test you again in 40 days. If you test positive again, that tells you that you've continued to smoke and it's not going to go well. Do you understand?
Sure.
All I'm asking you to do is follow the law, behave yourself, and do something with your life. Now, you didn't graduate high school, right? That's something that we need to work on. You cannot go through life with, at a minimum, a high school diploma, because when you don't have at a minimum that, people in this life will run circles around you with regard to money, jobs. I mean, it closes so many doors for even jobs for you not having a high school diploma. If you don't want to go to college, okay, but at a minimum in this life, you need your high school diploma. What I'd like to do is get him working on that, So essentially what we do is we set him off for a couple weeks. We give him a lawyer to help him navigate the process. But in that process, we work on getting him a GED. I have resources so that it can be free for you. So you don't have to pay for anything, right? But you have to show the willingness. And it's not going to be easy, but nothing in life is easy. For you, if you ever want to make money, if you ever want to do something worthwhile in this life, it's hard. Because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. That's why lawyers, doctors, accountants, architects make so much money, because it's hard to do. The more difficult something is in life, the more studying you have to do, the more money you're going to make. That's just how it goes. Anybody can work at a drive-through. Anybody can wait tables. Anybody. Do you understand?
Yes, man.
We want you to leave here better than you came in. Do you understand? And it starts with not smoking weed for now. You're young. We don't know what it's going to do to you. And I surely don't want something to happen where you use something with the brain because you're just using too much. So no more. I will give you resources now. We're going to bring you back in 2 weeks. I want to see what you've done to start working on getting your GED.
Yes, and he does work. So we did talk about that, his schedule.
Everything can be
Yes, sir.
done online.
Yes, sir. Perfect.
There's no excuse why you can't do it, right? You're not busy 24 hours, 7 days a week. It's a matter of, do you want to do it? It's not if you can. People tell me, I can't exercise. I have no time. Baloney. Bullshit. If you want to, you can. It's just where the priorities. Do you understand? Okay.
Judge, I'm sorry, one more thing. No alcohol was also conditioned. Again, alcohol was not alleged in any of the offense, and he is above 21. He has no history of alcohol abuse, but
My concern is that if you start drinking and he drinks too much, he's going to start doing other things as well. You know, I mean, if you want me to, okay, but no smoking weed. You're going to get tested 40 days from today. Do you understand? If you're going to drive, don't have anything to drink. You're on bond for this case. So even if you have a sip of alcohol, you get into a car and you get pulled over, you're going to get a hard time. It's not going to go easy because you got an open case. You always have to consider what you're doing out there. If I do this, am I going to get in trouble? If I say this, what kind of reaction am I going to get? Think before you act, and you think before you speak. You understand? Okay. So don't go yet because we need to give you resources for the GED. And then we've given you a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with her, and she will tell you when you have to come back to court. If she tells you she can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I'm going to issue a warrant. I'm not going to give you another PR bond. You start acting like a knucklehead out there. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All I want are two things: stop smoking get your GED. That we'll all be happy as like little bunnies jumping in the woods. All right? Okay, my friend.
And about
Hey, Toria. I know, thanks. You're the best.
Red excuse.
Okay.
Red
Yes.
Protection order. Judge, so 2 weeks for the change and then 40 days worth of
Yeah,
recess?
right. Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Jones. You were on bond for a case, and now you've picked up a new case. You've now picked up an unlawful carrying of a weapon. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On November 6th, 2024, the officer conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's motor vehicle at 12:11 a.m. after observing it disregard a red light and traveling without headlights or taillights on, as well as discovering the vehicle had expired license plates. Upon contact with the defendant, the officer observed a small plastic baggie containing 0.5 grams of marijuana in plain view of the dashboard of the motor vehicle and within reach of the defendant. The defendant advised he had a weapon under his driver's seat, and a search allowed the officer to recover an unholstered black Glock with a pistol magazine and an unfired round in the chamber.
What is the one thing that I asked you not to do, Mr. Jones?
no file.
And now you've picked up a new case. Sorry, dude. That's it. We will notify your lawyer now. We'll have him come and we'll have you speak to you. Okay, it goes with you. All right.
Judge, I've emailed Connor, who's attached to.
Okay, just don't send him down the steep. Good morning, Mr. McCauley. Mr. McCauley, you're charged with terroristic threat. This is of a family or household member. As a result, that kicks it up to a Class A misdemeanor, so you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Just to confirm, this is Macaulay?
McCauley.
Yes, Your Honor. On November 6th, 2024, the officer was dispatched to 8100 Rivers Drive in regard to a motor vehicle crash. Upon arrival, the officer was approached by the complainant, who stated that the defendant, who she was in a dating relationship with, threatened to kill her, causing her to fear for her life. The complainant advised that on the day of the incident, the defendant got into a verbal argument with the complainant. The defendant then began hitting the steering wheel and cursing at the complainant, and told the complainant he was going to kill her. This threat was also heard by another witness in the car. The complainant advised she believes the defendant is capable of carrying out this threat, and the complainant also advised the crash occurred because the defendant was hitting the steering wheel and he crashed into another motor vehicle.
Mr. McCauley, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Mr. McCauley has significant criminal history and significant dangerous criminal history. And what I see that he also may be on felony probation as it is.
Yes. I tried contacting the complaining witness. It looks like her number is disconnected. I tried twice, so.
We have prior assaults? Do we have any against the same complaining witness? Have you seen?
No, Your Honor, it doesn't appear so.
Mr. McCauley, I want you to understand something, that I'm going to do everything in my power to protect every single person of Harris County. I don't care who they are. I don't care what color they are. I don't care how tall they are. Every person of Harris County, I will protect. And if that means putting you in custody with an extremely high bond, I will do it in a heartbeat. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm ordering you not to have contact with this person whatsoever for any reason, and I'm now entering in what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection. This is a court order that identifies Miss DeVoe as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person, commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot stalk, threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
No one can authorize you to violate this. So if someone were to call and say, hey, man, come to this address and she's there and it's against a protected address, you're still in violation of this order for protection. If you violate it, the state can and will file additional charges against you, a violation of a protected order, and then things will really go sideways quick. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't know if you're on felony probation, but if you are, you got to be very, very careful because it's very possible a warrant issues at any time. You understand?
Yes, sir.
What do you do for a living?
I'm unemployed right now. I'm looking for a job.
Why are you unemployed?
I'm having to go to a class.
You've been what?
I've been having to go to a class and do community service.
How does that prevent you from having a job?
Classes from 9 to 12, and I was still looking for a job before I was arrested.
When is the last time you've had a full-time job?
Last year,
How do you eat? How do you eat?
I have family that helps me.
Dude, it's time to pull your weight. You need to get a full-time job.
Yes, sir.
I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to use or consume illegal drugs or alcohol, and I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, likewise, I will put you into custody. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm not asking much, man. I'm just asking you to be nice. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Because if not, there could be a lot to pay. So don't worry about, just, we'll have him sign them up, but don't worry because we'll have a monitor to make sure he's not
Yes,
using. So I need you to fill out an application for me to see whether you qualify for an appointed lawyer. I need to know everything about you. Don't just put zeros because I'm going to send it back to you. I need to know everything about you. Do you understand, Mr. McCauley?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, he'll give you an application. I'm going to have you also come up here, sign the order for protection. We'll have you sign a receipt with Victoria, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box. Do not leave until we excuse you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you Anthony Reyes?
Yes, sir.
Shh. Mr. Reyes, you're charged with deadly conduct. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
On November 8th, 2024, the officers were working in undercover capacity while conducting surveillance on several vehicles that were engaged in a parking lot takeover at 12300 North Freeway. The officer conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's motor vehicle. After observing it do 4 donuts in the parking lot while there was an individual sitting in the bed of the truck who appeared to almost fall out. The defendant admitted to doing the
Whoa,
donuts.
whoa, 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 whoa. There's a truck and you're telling me there's someone in the back of the truck?
At the truck, Your Honor.
They doing donuts?
4 donuts, Your Honor. And the officers made contact with the complainant, the truck passenger, who advised she was worried about falling out.
Mr. Reyes, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Have you ever seen the movie Teen Wolf? Okay. In the movie, in Teen Wolf, there's a part in the movie where they're in a van and then they get on top of the van and they do this surfing, right? I had a friend in high school because that's when the movie came out, right? And one of the big, it was a great movie, but one of the bad parts of the movie is that many people tried to emulate getting on a car, doing the surfing thing while they're driving down the road. I had a friend that lost his life trying to do that surfing. Imagine same thing here where someone gets out, falls out, cracks their cranium open and die. What happens? Don't say anything. I want you to think of what would happen in the event that you're doing donuts, someone flies out and dies. What would be the charge?
Not felony.
God, just a felony. Murder. I don't want you driving, Mr. Reyes. I'm making it the condition of your bond that you are not to drive. Do you understand me? You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. If you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get into a car and drive. Do you understand? This is an affidavit that you're promising me. And I don't care if Jesus comes down and needs to ride to church. We will have issues if you get into a car and drive. Do you understand? You know, Mr. Reyes, this life, it's not a long one. It's a very short one. And it can be a great life where you do well in school, go far in life, buy nice things, have nice cars, supermodel wife, great kids, lavish vacations in Monaco. Or it can be a rotten hell of an existence where you never have money. You're in and out of custody, where you can't even afford to go to a dentist, where you have teeth falling out. You can't even fix a root canal. It's but one. Think before you act. Think before you speak, because you may never get a second chance. Do you understand? You now have that chance. Do with it well, because if I find that you're a danger to my public, I will do everything in my power to protect the public at all costs. Do you understand? You have a lawyer. It's your responsibility to stay in touch with Brandon. He will tell you if and when you have to come back to court, don't drive. If you drove here, you may not drive home. Do you understand? You pick up a new case, you become a danger. How old are you?
19.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
Construction.
Be careful, Mr. Reyes. You're walking a thin line. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Brandon.
Thank you, Judge.
That way.
Judge, was that gonna be state's bond condition?